What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Diction. Welcome back to another CoD Mobile video. So today we are going to be talking about computers. Or importantly, when is CoD Mobile coming to PC? So before we actually get into this, I want to let you guys know really quickly, if you guys didn't see the previous video, that I finally do have a Discord, and that link is going to be down below in the description. So feel free to join the Discord. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that. And also I have finally opened up memberships for you guys to actually sign up for. So it's $4.99 a month. This is something that I just set up. You do get some nice loyalty badges that kind of evolve over time as you stay subscribed. And you also get some emojis that you could use on streams, as well as comment sections for YouTube videos. So feel free to support the channel if you like through those memberships. And anyways, let's get into the video. So this topic is kind of on and off as of recently. CoD Mobile on PC is something that's kind of existed for a while, but it started to gain a lot more traction when a native port was built for the Chinese version. So if you guys remember, there were a lot of leaks about a PC version coming to CoD Mobile, and eventually it became true, kind of. You know, we only got it for the Chinese version. We didn't get it for, you know, the rest of the world, I would say. It was very important for a PC version of that CoD Mobile to come out, because for a long time, the only PC version of CoD Mobile that we've had is the one on GameLoop. During those times, that was really the only way to play CoD Mobile on the PC. It was kind of like this weird Android emulator. And it's completely legal. I mean, you know, we had different inputs. You know, people play on touch, people play on controllers, and even keyboard and mouse. But that was really only done if they played the game on GameLoop. Depending on how strong your PC was, you could, you know, set the settings to max or just have very shitty settings, whatever the case may be. But the problem was that on GameLoop, it didn't run as perfectly as most would think. There were constant crashes, there were constant graphical issues, there were also constant input issues as well, you know, like maybe having input delay on, you know, aiming, or, you know, pressing a certain button to reload, stuff like that. I'm sure for some people, maybe the game ran well, or, you know, good enough, but the PC port, or I guess the native PC port that came out for the Chinese version, was the one that pretty much helped mitigate all those issues, because now the game fully supported PC properly. And not only that, it also had a lot of better settings. You know, you were able to run the game a lot more smoothly. You had a lot higher frame options now. Instead of having the normal 120 or the 90 or the 60, whatever phone device you had, you could actually run the game at, I think, 180 frames or somewhere around that ballpark. So you could have the game run way better than it does on a mobile device currently. It may kind of sound unfair on paper, but keep in mind, I mean, all of us inputs are separated, so there's really no chance for you to face someone like that if you're a touch player. Then again, I've been wrong before. You know, people have found ways to circumvent getting around ranked with a controller or even keyboard and mouse, so anything is possible. So while it's nice that they made a native PC port for the game, the problem is that it's not released on all regions. It's only released for China. So Global doesn't have it, VNG doesn't have it, the Korean version doesn't have it, Garena doesn't have it. Basically, the only one that has it is China. And while that's fine, I mean, there's probably reasons why they have it. I mean, besides, you know, their development studio being like literally right there. But probably the reason for that is maybe it's just to replace CoD Online. But I think the devs would have benefited a lot more had they made a version for, you know, everywhere. And I would have been curious, because now I actually have a PC that has the power to play that game properly, but I can't because they do not have it released. I mean, I could try GameLoop. I tried setting it up, but for some reason it's just giving me like a lot of error codes. And I've heard like a lot of other stories from friends that, like, you know, some people have just like logged in and got banned immediately. Maybe some of you guys that play PC with this game, maybe you guys could shed some light on that. I'm not really that sure on why that happens, even though it's already been approved by the people that make this game. But yeah, apparently that's an issue. So given how much money I've spent on this game, I did not want to risk losing my account forever. Of course, this is a question that a lot of people have, you know, asked over time. Are we ever gonna get a PC native port for Global and the other regions? It's quite a burning question, because we never truly got a definitive answer as to whether or not we're actually going to get that for ourselves too. Rather, they just kind of announced it and just didn't say a thing about it, and only released it for one region in the world. And it's kind of a shame that a lot of people kind of just gave up on a concept like that. And I understand both the majority of the player base is obviously going to be touch and maybe a little bit of controller. So having keyboard and mouse, it's probably a much more rare thing, I'll be honest. But I've always had a different end goal for this game, because while Call of Duty in the mainline consoles or PC has been failing massively over these past few years, I did make a video when I came back for Christmas talking about whether or not CoD Mobile should be the universal Call of Duty game. And I did get a lot of different takes from you guys in the comment section. I did read a lot of them, and some of you guys agreed, some of you guys kind of disagreed. And I mean, that's the whole point of the comment section. I actually wanted to hear what you guys actually had to say, and I do understand your opinions very well. Some of you guys want to keep the game pure and just have purely just the touch players running, and that's completely understandable. That's where the game originated from. That's the primary purpose of it being a mobile game. There were also comments saying that, you know, at least at the time, the game was extremely stale. You know, it was starting to get a little bit boring. And, you know, having a change like that wouldn't really make too much of a difference. And yes, at the time I could have agreed, but, you know, given that we've been given a lot of different content now, yeah, I don't think that's the case anymore. But I know a lot of you guys agreed as well, saying that this could be a big thing, especially since Call of Duty is kind of dying on the mainline side. Having a change like this, or having a port that anyone could just play on their PC, would be massive. And who knows, I mean, if it ever became successful, hypothetically speaking, if it ever became successful on PC, who's to say they wouldn't add that shit on console? People would be happy about it. They would have a lot to grind for, given that most of them would come in, you know, rather fresh. So there would be like millions of guns that they could, you know, grind from. So, I mean, people would be playing this game for a lot longer. There would be new players to kind of climb up the ranks, given that, you know, those types of inputs would finally expand, you know, more controller players, more keyboard and mouse. There would be like a different type of league in their field. I mean, that would be pretty nice to see. CoD Mobile is already a decently well recognized competitive game, especially for a mobile game, but imagine how much more recognized it can be if it was available everywhere. So those are like some questions that we need to ask ourselves. I know the competitive scene is only touch players, and I'll always respect that. But if we want this game to, you know, last a lot more years, I mean, this would probably be the ultimate solution to do so. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them to do that. Keep in mind, probably I think a month or two ago, there was actually a leak. I think it was like some Legion pad or whatever. This kind of like the Steam Deck-ish type of handheld console. And in one of their promo pictures, it actually showed CoD Mobile on Steam. There were a lot of people that were kind of ecstatic about it, or just kind of shocked that it might have been coming out. But a lot of people were also kind of just, you know, not buying it, given the fact that it's just a promo picture. They could just have pasted any photo on that Steam catalog and just called it a day, which kind of seems to be the case, because at this point we probably would have heard something by now. Keep in mind that the Legion Go device that was actually in that promo has not been released yet. They said it was going to be released in, I think, the second half of 2025. So, I mean, there's always still time for them to announce something, but I highly doubt that CoD Mobile is actually one of those games that is coming to Steam during that time. Of course, crazier things have happened, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem plausible, at least for right now. My best prediction, maybe it will come out around 2026, 2027, maybe at the end of 2026 at the earliest. That could be a far reach, but I don't know. It's like, it doesn't look like they're really interested in making a PC port. I think they only did it in the Chinese version, mainly because they don't have Call of Duty Online anymore. But only time will tell whether or not we will ever actually get a PC port for, for America and just the rest of the world. So unfortunately, right now, it's just a waiting game. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. And yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys next time.